Well, hello. It is I, EchoCraft. Welcome to the channel. Who do we have in the channel today? Who do we have in the chat of the channel, the chat channel chat? We have Synth Samurai. We have Farnell 1986. We have the Albanian Syndicate. We have Roy Droid Void. We have Absurd TV. We have Banana Rider 69. Yes, we do. We have Aaron Paris. Got your name right that time, bro. And we have Hans Volt. Mr. Hans Volt, yeah. All right. Cool beans. So, as you can see, I have a photo of the Moog Muse in my head. Pot 4. Yes. 4. Part 4. And, you know, by the way, I just want to say something. What you heard there was a patch that I created. I call that Guitar Muse. That's what I call that. Or Muse Guitar. That's what I called it. I called it Muse Guitar. So I made a patch, initialized the patch, and I turned around and I, what's up, Apollo? And I decided that I was going to make some type of guitar sounding patch. And that's what I came up with, an analog guitar sound, which I thought actually sounded very good. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, and the string sounds that you heard, that was the Juno X, my favorite keyboards. Cool. Anyway, and oh, what do I have here? Do I have that turned on? I think I do. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. I'm going to try some different stuff. So what's up, machines? How's that OB6, baby? Treat you well? Little ice cafe. So I'm going to do a little rant and roll right now, if that's okay with you. Also, new shirt came in. EchoCraft Frequency Hunter, full blast. EchoCraft in, I got the Japanese writing here, and on the back, the EchoCraft logo. I don't know, can you see that? It is on sale right now on my website, echocraft.com. Check it out. Pick up some shirts, hats. We have the new Behringer Bro full blast hat. Has SRM on the side, American flag. It is truly a wonderful thing. I'm going to be designing one for Patch Dog so that he has a Behringer Bros hat. So I'm going to be doing that real soon. Okay. Why, thank you, sir. Thank you. Hit that like button. Thank you again. Nice. All right. So here's my rant and roll. So today I was on Sonic State, and I don't go to Sonic State that much anymore. Kind of lost its oomph with me personally. But I do like Nick Bat, and I think Nick Bat is a pretty legit dude. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know Nick personally. I have been watching Sonic State for years. I've also written a couple of different reviews back before there was a YouTube channel on Sonic State. Under a different name, under an assumed name, which I'm not going to get into, but I did. And Nick sent me a t-shirt for doing it, which was nice. Didn't have Sonic State t-shirts back then. He actually sent me a Reason shirt. It was cool. It had the Reason logo on it and stuff, and it was very cool. Anyway, so I'm on Sonic State today, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and all of a sudden, they came up with this, and I'm just going to play it so you guys can see it. Hopefully the screen will come through, because it didn't last time. I'll turn up my mic a little bit. How's that? Is my mic better? Everything sound okay? Let's see. I'm going to play this. Tell me if this sounds okay.
See what we got next. To MPE or not to MPE? I think that's probably a good question, and it feels slightly Shakespearean. I'll let anybody else finish it off. Let's just play that one. This is actually, it's a really simple idea for a video, but it makes you think, oh God, yeah, maybe it needed to be. Here we go. So literally patches with MPE off, MPE on. And so it goes throughout the whole video. It's very simple and straightforward, and obviously it's a great way to make the case for Osmos, because that's the thing in this particularly, and that's probably the most accessible MPE instrument there has been so far. But when you look at it like this, I mean, they've obviously chosen these patches with very little movement in them that you then introduce with your pressure. You know, I don't hear any PWM in there, for instance, and that could have made a difference, or detuned oscillators. But it's a very, it's a very, when you see it like that, you just go, oh, duh, of course. And I just wonder whether or not anybody is still, no, Robin, you shaking your head, you're still not feeling
No, I'm not a believer at all in this MPE nonsense.
Okay, so listen to what he says here. MPE nonsense. People have been wanting, multi polyaftertouch for a long time. And it happened, I don't know, back in the 70s, I think, or the 80s. I don't even remember. I think it was a CS80 that actually had it. Polytouch, polyaftertouch, whatever it's called. So, and now we have an instrument, which is great. I own one that's amazing. It's just an amazing instrument. And so, I'm just kind of blown away by it that this person who is very well respected in the synth community trashed it and basically said it was foolish. And I'll play the whole thing. I just want you to hear it. I'm just going to go back just a little bit. Let's see. And I just want you to hear the foolishness of this statement. And before I play any more, I don't know if I can call up I spent $10 on Sonic State today, $9.99, because I wanted it to show up in big giant. It was a big yellow patch that came up, and I wrote a little thing in there, and I basically, here, I'll just, actually, maybe I can show you on here. After we look at, this is what I did. And after we look at, listen to what Robin has to say and what Rich Nichols has to say, which I was very shocked at him as well, because it was very unprofessional of him to say what he said, because, well, I'll let you be the judge of it. Just check it out.
Most accessible MPE instrument there has been so far. But when you look at it like this, I mean, they've obviously chosen these patches with very little movement in them that you then introduce with your pressure. I don't hear any PWM in there, for instance, and that could have made a difference, or detuned oscillators. But it's a very, when you see it like that, you just go, oh, duh, of course. And I just wonder whether or not anybody is still, no, Robin, you're shaking your head, you're still not feeling
No, I'm not a believer at all in this MPE nonsense. I mean, I thought when the Rolly first came along, and you saw people doing Hendrix licks and bits and pieces, I thought, wow, that's amazing. And I fully expected all pop music to go, constant pitch shifting all over the place on every single note, and it didn't happen. Because it's stupid and nobody wants to listen to that. You want, occasionally, you have some kind of virtuosic playing, which is extraordinary. And if you're Hans Zimmer and you're writing for the next Dune movie or whatever, then that's what you want. But for the rest of us, honestly, a little bit of mod wheel, a little bit of filter tweaking, it's the same thing. I mean, I can do the same video with a guitar, right? And have one guitar going, and the other one going, and it will be fantastic.
Listen to the tomfoolery of that statement. I can do that with a guitar. No, you fucking can't. You can't take a synth sound. I've heard guitar players do it. I've heard them run their guitars through. I'm a guitar player. I've heard guitar players run their guitars through synthesizers. It sounds nothing like that. I can't believe the backwards thinking of this man who builds modules, right? The backwards thing is stupid. I think it's stupid. And he expected all pop songs to be what? And yes, Hans Zimmer. He mentioned Hans Zimmer. Yes, Hans Zimmer bought 8 of them for the people that he works with in his studio. He bought 8 Osmoses. Watch the video on Expressive E's channel. For somebody to say that that's stupid, and he thinks that all pop music is going to have this in it, and he's going to do the same exact thing on his guitar, is fucking stupid. Okay? I'll play a little bit more for you.
And you go, wow, these two guitars are just so different, man. No, if I pick the worst sound in the world and play it up against a really nice...
The other thing I want to know is what's so fucking funny? What's so funny? Is that really funny what he said? Is that funny? I think it's funny. He was making a point. He was stating what his opinion was. And we all know what opinions are. It's my opinion. I own an Osmos. Okay? It's one of the most innovative synthesizer keyboard controllers that has ever been created. I got a couple of videos that I'm going to show tonight. But what his statement was moronic and stupid.
Played sound, it's going to, it's going to alter our perception of reality. So I feel that this is a dishonest video at best. And that MPE is just for people who like really expressive play by themselves in their own room with the door shut.
All right, did you hear that last statement? Listen to this statement, and I'll shut my mouth.
If you're Hans Zimmer and you're writing for the next Dune movie or whatever, then that's what you want. But for the rest of us, honestly, a little bit of mod wheel, a little bit of filter tweaking, it's the same thing. I mean, I can do the same video with a guitar, right? And have one guitar going, and the other one going, and it will be fantastic. And you go, wow, these two guitars are just so different, man. No, if I pick the worst sound in the world and play it up against a really nicely played sound, it's going to, it's going to alter our perception of reality. So I feel that this is a dishonest video at best. And that MPE is just for people who like really expressive play by themselves in their own room with the door shut. And that's it.
That is
how disgusting for somebody that's a musician, that's a creator, to say something that demoralizing. I'm just saying. Yeah, short-sighted, dude. What past planet is this man living on? I'm going to play a little bit more because I want you to hear what Rich Nichols says. Now, this is the man who owns Pittsburgh Modular, who I actually owned. My first modular system was Pittsburgh Modular System 10, which very good, very well built, very robust design and everything. But watch what he says. And this is when I went off. And I never go off on Sonic State. I paid $10 to go off on Sonic State. And I was going to take it back, but no. And you know what the best part is? After you see this big, and I'm going to read to you what I wrote, and it's in a big, giant yellow tab because that's what happens when you donate money to the channel. And I even had Buzz, the Blue Wrench, and I don't know if Wagyu is one of them, but I even had him chime in and said I was absolutely right. But it's just. mind-blowing that if you watch the video, they're comparing a regular controller with maybe some aftertouch to polyphonic aftertouch on an Osmos and using an MPE synthesizer, right? Like Pigments or whatever, right? And just showing you the depth that it can have. Yeah, you can do that with a mod wheel. You can do that with using the pitch controller. You can't do that on a fucking guitar. All right? I've seen it. I had a plug-in synth. I had a synthesizer pedal that I plugged into, and I got rid of it because it didn't sound anything like that. And it was something I always said. If I can bend a note on a guitar, I wish I could do that on a keyboard. How many times have you guys played a solo on a keyboard and you go like this with your finger at the end to give it vibrato and it doesn't do anything, but you do it because that's a human instinct. So you do it with the mod wheel, right? The nice thing is being able to do that on the keys. That's why I bought the Osmos. It just blows my mind how short-sighted, and that's very good, Absurd TV, how short-sighted this man is. And to say something stupid, it's like MPE's a fad. MPE is not a fad, man. It's something that's here to stay, and it's going to keep getting better. Why would Arturia make their entire key bed, which I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, if they got the idea or teamed up with Expressive E to build their key bed with so much expression, which I wish they did on the Muse, by the way. That's one of the cons I forgot about on the Muse. It has aftertouch, but it doesn't have poly aftertouch, and it should. Okay, for the amount of money that thing costs, it should. But you know, well, like what are you thinking, dude? You know, and you know, Nick laughed along with it, and then I don't even talk about Pauly, whatever his name is, Pauly Shore, Pauly D, Pauly Mode. You know, I'm all set with him because he's always laughing at something, and he interrupts Nick all the time, and whatever, dude. He, she, they, them, whatever he is. I don't know what he is. I don't care. All I know is that Nick asks him point blank afterwards. I'm going to play the rest of it.
I'd like to say, I think you could have actually made that case at the Oxford Union. I just want to say, I think that deserves a round of applause there for a contrary one. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, Paulie, you're a player. I mean, you've got instruments, presumably. Well, is that a polybrute you've got there, or a matrix? I forget which.
That's a poly.
Yeah, so that's got something approaching MPE on it.
Just channel aftertouch in this weird wooden mobile phone case thing, which you slide. But yeah, I still haven't tried an
weird iPhone phone case thing. It was designed after the Touche, which is Expressive E. God damn it. Say what it is.
So I'm going to reserve judgment properly on it, you know, until I can sit down and have a play. The thing that excited me most about that demo was how the person was able to delicately apply portamento.
Exactly.
To a note, but I imagine like you could assign velocity to portamento. I'm going to try that later to see if I can get, you know,
assign. If you have an instrument that can do it, why do you want to go into your DAW and assign it through CC? Why? I don't. What the fuck, man?
Similar vibe going on just from a normal channel aftertouch velocity keyboard.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm not completely against polyphonic expression. I've got a couple of N-Sonics which have poly aftertouch keyboards.
Sorry, I'm not. Just the amusement of it. I'm not against.
Polyphonic
It's like
expression.
It's like freedom of expression. I'm not completely against freedom of expression, but
Some people are. I mean, you know. If you
It's
know,
interesting.
if I was in charge, you better fear for your lives. Anyway,
right.
no. So the so what I was going to say was, I always remember, because I haven't tried this stuff, I don't know how cool it is. But
Yeah, that's fair
there
point.
was something that made me laugh on a forum once. And it said, why do we need MPE? Have you heard the music of people who love MPE?
That's a fair point. Well, I
And,
don't know if it is. I mean,
Why is there? I didn't know MPE was a style, was a genre. If you use something like the Osmos or the Haken, or Haken, however you say it, I'm going to show a video about that too. If you use that, nobody's going to know that you're using it unless you make an entire song going meh, like that gentleman said. I never heard anybody say anything like that about MPE. MPE is a technology. It's not a genre. Jesus Christ.
I have played the Osmos, and I do
And I
feel
think
that.
Robin was tapping into that with the sliding.
Have you played the
THX.
Osmos, Robin? Have you played it?
I've tapped it a little.
Right. There it is. See, this is what you do to people that are uneducated on something, right? You call them out. And I'm glad Nick called them out, right? Robin, have you played an Osmos?
Oh, I've tapped it.
You've tapped it? What the fuck, man?
I tapped it.
Have you played the
THX.
Osmos, Robin? Have you played it?
I've tapped it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I do appreciate.
Oh, now
what
you
it does and how
appreciate it.
works, and I have a little Rolly, and I have enjoyed playing that kind of stuff, but not.
All right, listen to the hypocritical crap right now. I have a little Rolly. First of all, you know, Samurai's going to bust me on this one, but I had a Rolly. Rollies suck, okay? They're difficult to play. They're difficult. I don't need to learn a whole new way of playing something, okay? Trust me, I've had it for a while and I got rid of it. And when the Osmos came out, I was like, ooh, that's interesting because it's a keyboard, not some rubber-covered Sensodyne bullshit. I don't know, Sensodyne, isn't that toothpaste? You know, I hated the Rolly, right? I had the mini one. You know, people might say, oh, you gotta experience the big one. I turned that sensitivity up all the way on that thing. I hated it. I despised it. And he's a hypocrite because he has one. He has an MPE controller, okay? So he's a hypocrite. It upset me, and I lost my mind. And let's continue.
Yeah, whenever I actually want to do something, it's the last thing I reach for.
Right.
When I really want to do something, it's the last thing I reach for. What is that? What kind of statement is that? What does that even mean? I'm sorry for burning these guys, man, but I don't give a fuck anymore. Okay? This stuff drives me crazy. Just like Synth Seeker the other night, talking about the Muse and how it goes out of tune and blah, 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 blah. Right? Do you own one? Have you played one? Maybe you did in a store. You didn't own it. The first batch of these had some issues, right? But I know people like Vic Korftron and Marshall Arnold that didn't have any issues on the first batch. I have the third batch. I don't have any issues, right? Educate yourself. Stop being ignorant and stop turning around and saying stupid crap and then going, wow, I do have a Rolly. Come on, man. No offense against the Brits. I love British people. I love the way they talk. I love Irish people. I have Scottish people. I love the way they talk. They're rolling their R's. Right? Now let's listen to Rich Nichols here, who I highly respected at one time. And then I'm going to show you what I spent $10 on.
Well, Rich, it looks like it's a fairly split panel here. Well, it might not be. It might be a complete. I might be in the minority here. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, as a non-player, this thing is not for me. But as a designer of instruments, what you realize is, it takes something different to scratch everybody's creative itch. And when you think that 90 to 98% of the people that use these things are not professional musicians.
What? What? Listen to what he just said. 90% of the people that use these tools aren't professional musicians. What the absolute fuck, dude? Like, what? I'm beside myself. I gotta play that one more time. Hold on. Might
not be. It might be a complete. I might be in the minority here. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, as a non-player, this thing is
as a non-player.
But as a designer of instruments, what you realize is, it takes something different to scratch everybody's creative itch. And when you think that 90 to 98% of the people that use these things are not professional musicians, they're hobbyists that do this in their shed or in their bedroom or in their little basement studio, then giving these people the tool they need to express
in their shed, in their bedrooms, and in their basements. Wow. How out of touch are you with the synthesizer community? A man who developed modules, synth modules. I mean, I'm going to ask people in the chat right now, am I wrong about this? Am I wrong? Anybody? I just don't. I'm actually blown away that somebody said that. And yes, Aaron, Robin actually does play in his shed. I'm flabbergasted. I really am. And I got so angry. You have no idea, guys. Like I'm not as angry as I was because I was angry when I heard that statement. That was worse than what Robin said. They're not actual professional musicians. I would love Hans Zimmer to come on this show and say, really? Oh, and let's see. Who's the other person I want? Oh, Jordan Rudess. Jordan Rudess. Does anybody know who Jordan Rudess is? He is a phenomenal keyboard, okay? Keyboardist. I just, anybody know who he is? I think I have a video with him on it that I'm going to play. He plays for Dream Theater, right? I'm not a big Dream Theater fan, but I respect them as musicians because they're all phenomenal musicians. And Jordan Rudess is one of the best keyboard players out there. He is now the new Rick Wakeman, Keith Emerson. He's a phenomenal keyboard player. And yes, he's a GOAT. And he's more than a professional musician. He's an accomplished musician. Hans Zimmer is an accomplished composer. And this buffoon says something like that, which I was blown away. Anyway, hold on.
Himself is a good thing. Now, this video was clearly wildly biased. I think they could have made a lot of those sounds on the regular keyboards sound a lot better, but that doesn't get the point across. So fair on them. But this keyboard is not for me. I would have not what to do with it. It reminds me, all these videos sort of remind me of that My Bloody Valentine album from years ago, where they're always doing pitch bends, and it kind of makes me queasy when I listen to it. Like I can't do it. That doesn't mean there isn't artists out there that think this thing's the most important way to get their thing out of their head. And that's all right.
I feel I need to step in. I need I need to make an intervention here. So, okay.
All right. So the reason why Nick said that is because of this. As he saw this shine up on his screen as soon as I posted it. And I don't know if you guys can see that. If you can't, I'll read it to you. This is me. Okay? It says, wow, so only hobbyists, bedroom musicians use these types of tools. I totally take offense to that. And Robin doesn't know what he's talking about. And apparently Richard doesn't either. And then it goes on because they never mentioned my name when I posted that, because they usually do when you give them money. And it really pissed me off. And Nick said what he says here because of this.
Addressing your point about, not being a sufficiently good player to take advantage of this, I think actually you're maybe missing the point of how this can work as well, because the beauty of an instrument like this, or the MPE kind of experience of tonality, and it's the same on the Polybrute as well, is you can play a note and travel almost between, because one thing to try, Paulie, if you've not used much MPE, is assign the poly, the aftertouch, to the morph between the tones. So you get morph per patch per tone. And so you can create just a single sound, and then maybe something that you're playing each time, and it's just how you then express it, with one finger. It could be, it doesn't have to be a chord, doesn't have to be fancy playing, and you can get this enormously expressive transition or change in tonality with a very simple bit of player input. It's not, it doesn't have to be. Yes, I agree. It's quite hard to play if you've got all the wonk dialed up full and you can't keep your fingers under control. I mean, I can't. So, but you can set it up in a much more forgiving way. So that's the only thing I would say. So that I've just wanted to say that. I don't feel like we have to justify it, but I just thought it was an interesting video from that point of view, definitely. But yeah, it does feel it's a very marketing one. But it just seemed like I saw it and I thought, wow, that's so clear. And I'm clearly the only person feels.
I mean, I'm happy to have one shipped to me to
I may be able to let you ask.
Yeah,
you need
sure
to maybe
you
you should
would.
try it out. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, all right. Okay, what's next? Actually, I think we just briefly touch on this because I got so much flack for not covering this story that.
So, again, wasn't mentioned. That literally, and you heard Robin laughing, and Robin was laughing because he saw it. And so then because they never mentioned my name, and I didn't expect them to because I did a rant. Let me get rid of this video. And anyway, so this is what I wrote back after that. And I said, thank you, EchoCraft, for that $10. Maybe I can buy a pint with that. I said, no problem, Nick. That was me saying that whole thing. And I went hard renegade style on that because it pissed me off and I don't care anymore. I used to be very cordial when it came to people on Sonic State. And I would very rarely say anything. I'd say hello to everybody and stuff. And, but that really, really torched my soul. And I needed to say that, and I'll read some of the comments and then I'm just going to play one more thing because I want you to hear, this is Jordan Rudess playing an Osmos, and it's mind blowing, right? Let me see. Let me read some of the comments. Let's see. Yes, he does play. His left hand and his right hand play amazing together. Don Wrangler says that Rick Wakeman is king. Rick Wakeman is an amazing keyboard player, one of my favorites. You're a prophet sign. Okay, guys, legend. Let's see. I think he had a point about specific video, but is wrong about MPE. In the specific video, they showed a static sound. I get it, bro. I get it, bully. Okay, I do. I watched the whole thing. I understand that's what they were showing, and that was Nick's point. They were trying to show you a static freaking keyboard and how expressive the Osmos can be with an MPE. That's all they were doing. And all of a sudden it turned into this shit show of stupidity. And I think Nick had to reel it in because Nick likes the Osmos. And that, that was that's why I just like lost my mind, and I apologize for it. Yeah, I missed the point about the dishonest video too. Why was it dishonest? There was nothing dishonest about the video. Again, a stupid comment. Let's see. Did you hear if you send it to me? Oh yeah. Did you hear if you send me one? Yeah, that's the shill, the Synth Mafia shill right there. Exactly, Samurai. Synth extortion. Synth extortion. Yes, that's what we called it. Remember? So now I'm going to play this video of Jordan Rudess. It's a short, but it's really good. And let me pull it up here, see if I can get this happening. I go silent on that one because come on, he's an amazing keyboard player and he makes the Osmos talk. He makes it sing. And that's what it was designed for. He basically played a cello, a violin, and a viola all at the same time just then. Jordan Rudess, the small chamber orchestra that you would invite to your wedding. Wow. It just blows my freaking mind. I don't know. I couldn't believe the stupidity, and I lost my mind. And again, this was going to be about Moog and about the Muse. And it just blows my mind of how ridiculous that was. I don't know. Anyway, so, am I wrong for doing what I did? I don't think I am. I'm not going to apologize. I was told renegades never apologize. Rebels never apologize. We just move on. And I'm not apologizing for what I did because, again, not for nothing. I used to like listening to Robin talk, and I've actually watched some of his videos, and no, I'm not amused, James. I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I've never heard anybody say anything that ridiculous before about something they know nothing of. Oh, I've tapped it. Wow. Anyway, Harmonic Sonics, what did I do? You're going to have to rewind the video, bro, and check it out. Let me see. See something here, because, you know, give me a second. I just want to try something. I'm going to just get rid of the screen for a sec. Osmos, baby. Two-handed playing, let a note drone, bend the other notes, very lightly touch, allowing it to do legato. You know, it's just phenomenal instrument. You know, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, well, I did. I gave it. Sorry, you know. I appreciate that, dude. I gave my my opinion, and I wasn't happy with people saying things like that. I mean, I could understand like if it's a trash piece of gear and it, but to say that and then to come out and say something stupid like, you know, MPE music. Well, it's not a genre. It's a freaking technology that people have been wanting for years, like I said. You know, James wants Jordan Rudess's babies. Okay, bro. So let me take a swig of coffee. So that being said, and me ranting and raving like I did, and, you know, Rant and Roll, that's what I'm going to call that segment, Rant and Roll. You know, I started making patches on the Moog, and I only came up with 3 because, you know, it takes a while to make a patch, and I could just show you the 3 that I made. So what I'll do is I'll switch cameras now, and okay. So the first patch I made, I call it Wave Pad because it's kind of a waving, I guess it's kind of like a wave, folded sound. That's the only way I could describe it. So let me play that and show you what that sounds like. So that was the first patch that I did. Does it say? It says, to be honest, Echo, I didn't think the Moog Muse sounded all that great when most people played it. You've changed my mind about it, though. Well, that's cool, man. That's like, I'm not a big fan of the PB12, but some people have made it sound pretty good, which I looked at it and said, maybe I'll buy one of those, but I went with the Muse instead, Let's change the camera angle here again. Now, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to turn, let's see here. So, I am going to put a VST on. I'm going to put a Valhalla Supermassive on the third patch that I created called that's the guitar patch. I called it Muse Guitar, but this patch here is kind of like a hover patch, like a hover sound. So you guys could check this out. I don't know, I like stuff like that. That was fun. So now I'm going to show you the guitar, the Muse guitar sound, and I want to put on the this one I made with the arpeggiator, and this is the opening song that I played. Well, not song, but the opening track that I played before I ended up going live completely. So yeah, so let me do this. Oops. So what I want to do too, so that's with Supermassive on, and I'll just show you what it sounds like without Supermassive on. it should still sounds pretty cool. This is it with just a little bit of the diffusion delay on here. Check it out. And I'll do what I did on the opening. We'll put the Supermassive back on. I'll show you what I did in the opening. So there you go. Again, only 3 patches so far, but it takes a while. I'm still learning the instrument. I'm still learning about all the things that go under the hood. Vic Korftron is an inspiration to me with his Muse because he just does some cool stuff with it. So I'm going to be tapping his brain, like I said. We chit-chat a little bit back and forth. But yeah, man, Echo repping the house sneakers. Yeah, man, my sneakers. I got Adidas on, baby. Adidas. Oh, shut up. Fucking Echo. Anyway, yeah, man. So I just thought I'd, come on and talk a little bit more about the Muse. This is part 4. There's going to be lots more. Oh my God, will you shut up? So there's going to be... that's my Alexa again. She just, I got to rename her because every time I say craft, she speaks up. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, guys. I just thought I'd do a little video, do a little rant and roll because I wasn't happy about what I heard and what I saw, and I don't know, man. So, again, the cool thing about the Muse is it's a fascinating instrument. And, again, Samurai says I'm glazing things. But I mean, I have to say, this is probably one of the coolest synthesizers I've bought in a long time. And I mean that. I have to say the second coolest synthesizer I ever bought was, I'm not going to say the Osmos because the Osmos is more than a synthesizer. It's a controller. I'm going to say that's probably the coolest keyboard I ever bought. But as far as synthesizers go, the coolest one I've bought so far, I'm going to say, is since the Moog, was the Hydrosynth by ASM. I really like that synthesizer. It's fun. The Osmos patch and way you played it was fabulous. Oh, thank you. Smarty, 1970, man. How you been? I haven't. You show up every once in a while. It's good to see you, dude. It's good to have you in here. But yeah, man. What do I have here? I have MRN. What is it? FDZ. Okay. All right. Welcome. I've never seen you in here, but welcome. Let's see, what else we got going on here? How is the synth engine of the Osmos? So the synth engine of the Osmos is very cool. A lot of people don't like it, but if you go in and you tweak the parameters for sensitivity and aftertouch and things like that, you can get some very interesting things out of it. Some of the patches, and I'll hold on. I love this patch, and I'm just going to play just a little bit for you. Let me turn off the Valhalla. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me turn it down just a little bit because I'm peaking and I'm getting distortion and I fucking hate that. All right, give me a sec. So yeah, man, it's got some deep bass. That's called an acid bass. Again, and you can go in and tweak stuff. It's a very cool synthesizer, and I've used it a lot, and I love it. It's just the whole feeling behind it that just is amazing to me. Yeah, you should try one. You can get them. I think they refurb them. I guess some people return them because they don't like the way it feels and stuff. And so they refurb them for like $1,200, which isn't too bad. You know what I mean? You can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish. All right, that's cool. That's the old, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. I get it. I feel you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the whole Labyrinth thing. Banana Rider 69. People are buying the Labyrinth again and showing it off on YouTube, and I don't get it. Not my cup of tea. And I mean, not every synthesizer every company creates is going to be great, right? But yeah. The other thing I wanted to do real quick, let me do this. If I can call this up here. Let's do this. This is going to be cool. Where am I? All right, so let me see. So this is the Rev 2. There's no effects on the Rev 2 on this track, this channel, other than the Rev 2 effects. So the Rev 2 is cool, man. It's got some cool sounds. This is one of my favorite keyboards. I've gotten rid of a lot of things, and I'm not getting, people are like, oh, why don't you get rid of the Rev 2? No, not happening. I love this synthesizer. Here, this is another one of my favorites. Little aftertouch there. But yeah, so I mean, kind of sounds like a synth punk song. I don't know. I'm just messing around here. But yeah, so anyway, yeah. Just having some fun with the Rev 2. And, you know, anyway, yeah. Rev 2, very nice. Nicely played by Echo. Thank you. What is this? Yeah, that's not what I paid. Ha! Anyway, so that's about it, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and I'm glad y'all came by and said hello. And get rid of this stuff. Go back here. Here we go. And yeah, so you know, I love the Muse. I love everything, man. I love all the synthesizers I have. Again, I got rid of a lot. Gonna get rid of some more. I'm glad y'all came by. I did a synth car this AM. Tomorrow's Vision Now. Half day old. What are you saying, Samurai? You did a mustache thing today. Oh, Tomorrow's Vision. Okay, all right. I didn't know. That's a cool name, Tomorrow's Vision. I like that. Tomorrow's Vision Now. All right. But yeah, so everybody in the chat, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for letting me do my rant and roll. That's probably going to be a segment on my channel called Rant and Roll. Yeah. So, again, great synthesizers. Check out an Expressive E Osmos. It's amazing. And like I always say, fellas, ladies, gents, he, she, they, them, mafangul, stay frosty, stay creative. Peace, guys.